Here's just a little something that I want everybody to think about. It was just something on my mind and I didn't do a video for a while, so here we go. If World War III would ever happen, I want you to take a minute and just to think about what I'm going to say. If World War III was ever to happen, we're done. People like you and I, we're done. You know why we're done if this ever happens? Is because we're going to be shooting nuclear missiles at each other, nuclear bombs. Everyone's going to get blown to smithereens. And you know who the people are that are going to live? Are the people that are shooting the nuclear missiles at us, the people. They're going to have their bunkers to go to. They're going to have their families, they'll be safe for a while. They'll go in their shelters that they build. They'll go into hiding and they'll do what they have to do. And the reason I say this is because this all has something to do with the build up of where we are going as a people. If you can understand that. And that's why everything I talk about it because most of the world is not aware. We do not understand. We do not have the knowledge to understand these type of things that will kill each other, that will destroy each other, that will do things that they really don't even know that they're doing. You see, these people in power, yes, there are probably some of them that do care about humanity and do care about people. I'm not saying that everybody is like what I'm describing, because everyone's not. But there are people at the top, and this is the problem I have with power and control. Power and control is always corrupt. It will always be corrupt. You should never, if you are on the level of awareness that I am on, you should never, ever, 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 ever desire or seek or want or feel the need to be in a position of power. If you are someone like that, then you're on a completely different frequency and awareness that I'm on in life. And why am I bringing this up? Why am I talking about World War III? It hasn't happened, but here's what we have to understand, is that we can be wiped off the face of this earth any day, any time, any hour, any second, if one man in charge. Just think, if Russia, someone in Russia, someone in America, someone in, North Korea, just decides to shoot one nuclear missile, or decides to use their power and to use it for destruction, they can bring about the whole elimination of the human species as we know it. And this is how dangerous it is. This is how much we are teetering at the very edge of history here. Do you realize that? Now, I'm not doing this video to spread fear. I'm not doing this video. The only reason I'm doing this is to make you think about life. You see, and this is my problem, y'all. This is why I keep telling you I have a problem with the labels, the judgments, with us saying that someone is better or worse, or this country is more powerful, or, oh, those Spanish people over there are different from me, so I can't, I don't want to be a part of that group. I'll feel like an outcast. I'm black, so I can't be with this group of white people because I'll feel different from them. I'm Mexican, so I can't be around the Spaniards because I'm different from them. This is ignorant thinking. This is ignorant thinking. The only thing different from us as a people is that some of us have less melanin in our skin and some of us have more melanin in our skin. That is it. Me and you, we have hearts, we have lungs, we have hair, we have bone, we have teeth, we have blood. We are the same thing, the same exact thing. And I understand we all have our little pet peeves. We all have our little tiny prejudices that we don't tell people. Come on, let's be real here. But just think about this. This is what has come. And a lot of my awareness has come from watching Osho. I don't know if you ever heard of Osho. I urge you to watch what he says because I got more from him than any man that I have ever got from is Osho. Osho is the one guy that I would recommend for people to listen to. And I got things from other places. I got things from the teachings of Jesus Christ. I got things from atheists. I got things from creationists. I got things from antinatalists. I got things from every single thing you can think of. I looked into nihilism, the black pill, the red pill, all that stuff that we label these things as. You see how there's so many labels? And that's what I'm getting to. If you understand, when you come to the end of this labeling thing, and you come to the end of judgment, and you come to a point where you realize that nothing means anything, but everything means something. You see, you come to this point where you can't have one without the other. You can't have left without right. You can't have up without down. You can't have hot without cold. You can't have any of these things without the other one. But yet, we put a label to it and we say one's better or one's worse. And one is not better or worse. It's just how we see it. And the problem with evil and good, that is a whole nother topic. And I know people, they will mention that. Well, what about evil and good? Why do we have to have so much evil in the world? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. But that's a whole other discussion. That goes deep to what we know, what we're limited to know as humans. But really think about this. because of another man and his labels and his judgments and what he thinks in his own mind or her own mind, the power that they have and that they can use at any time, they can literally destroy billions of people because of this power, because of this control that so many of us are seeking. And all that it is it's hidden. It's hidden. It's hidden in plain sight. All that is behind it is violence, is death, is corruption. That's all that's behind it. And when you come to that realization, you realize that you're really not a part of the world and what it's doing anymore. Because this is what's going on every day, all the time. It's just constantly people seeking power, people seeking control, people seeking to be better than. Do I have more cars than this person? Do I have a bigger house? Do I have more jewelry than the next hip hop artist? Do I have more money than this entrepreneur? Do I have more of this? Do I have more of that? And you come to see how petty and how much this does not matter at all. And then you come to this point too where there's really no more questions. It's almost like you come to the end of philosophy. Once you have studied philosophy full on, and you have looked into almost every philosopher, and you have watched George Carlin, Charles Bukowski, you have read the teachings of Jesus, you have watched Osho, you have watched Matt Dillahunty, Seth Andrews, Dan Barker. There's so many people that I can sit here and mention that I watch, and your awareness just starts to turn into this thing where you don't get bigger. You start shrinking and you start becoming more centered, and it's kind of like, instead of going like this, oh, I'm choosing this, I'm picking and choosing that, oh, I'm labeling this, I'm labeling that, I don't know about this. You start going like this, like that, in short spurts, because you realize that the more that you understand and the more you're aware, the more you're becoming like this. You're becoming neutral. You're becoming on the fence. You're becoming to where when you see yourself drifting towards this angle, you're judging this thing. Then you realize, well, wait a minute. I couldn't have seen this without this. I couldn't have seen evil without good. I couldn't have known heat without cold. I couldn't have known to go left if I didn't go right. You see? And then you start coming more here. You start getting centered more in yourself. And you start going like this, but very quick. Very quick, because you realize that the thing you're judging and the thing you're labeling is basically the same thing that you're judging and labeling over here. So you start to say, why am I doing that? But then you say why at first. See, you say why at first. But then over time, you don't ask why anymore. You just accept it for what it is. And you accept things for how they really are. And you understand what's going on in the world. And you understand how ignorant all of us really were. And you understand that these men in power are dangerous. It's corrupt. You realize that when these movies, you see these movies where people are seeking this ultimate power, and they're seeking this way that they can create fire with their own hands, like X-Men and stuff like that. Why do you need those powers? Think about it. Why do you need those powers? All that they're used for is destruction. Now, God forbid if you're Magneto and you can move metal, which none of us are going to ever be able to do, but okay, you build a building for people to live in. Great. If you were Magneto and you did that, but what does Magneto do? What do the people in power do? What do people that want control over other people's lives do? Think about this. But yet we're all still probably seeking some of those things. And I'm trying to tell you, I am a living testimony to this, y'all. There is another way. There is another way. And that way is awareness, is understanding, is not saying I'm only a Christian. I only believe that, Jesus was the Son of God. Yes, you have to go through that stage maybe too, like I did, but you're only seeing one thing. You're not saying, okay, well, what is this person saying? What's going on over here? What's going on over there? Did I look into this thing? Did I listen to that person? And see, when you don't have an open mind and you don't surrender to everything and say, I'm open, I'm not fighting through this anymore, something starts to happen to you. And I can't quite describe it. You just become, you go to a different frequency and you become of a different awareness, and you understand these things and you stop asking questions. You don't even really look into the philosophy anymore because you have looked into it so much. I have looked into philosophy so much that I understand philosophy itself. I understand you can't have one thing without the other. Life is an irony. Everything contradicts itself. Life is chaos. Yet there is peace in silence. Everything has an opposite. That is the way that the universe works. But you have men and women in power that they are one-sided. You see, they're over here constantly. They're not seeing both sides. They're not playing both fields. They're not centering themselves in awareness. And that's why we have all this corruption. It's why we have people killing each other in Chicago. It's why we have people beating people with bats and people shooting people and people pillaging stores and all this crazy stuff, because they're not aware. They're ignorant of the fact. And listen, there was a time where I was ignorant. The reason I can tell you not to eat sugar is because I don't eat sugar no more. The reason I can tell you to go on a diet and get healthier is because I am on a diet right now. The reason that I can speak to you about awareness and understanding is because I am aware and I understand what is really going on. Now, whether you think that or not, you have to ask yourself, am I ignorant? Do I understand? That's what you have to ask yourself at the end of the day. So just think about it. If they decide to drop a bomb, we're all done. And this is why we have to spread this awareness to people. This is why I'm doing this video. Because we are ignorant. We don't know because no one taught us. I didn't know until someone taught me. And that's why I'm telling you and I'm teaching you what I know. The only thing I am a flesh, blood, and bone man that teaches awareness. That's it. So really think about this. You know, it's really not a joke. I mean, I'm not telling you to be, so uptight. See, there it is again. I'm not telling you to be too uptight. Then it's not a joke. See, it's always this back and forth thing. Everything is always contradicting itself. This is where you should be focusing on. Be neutral. Be on the fence with everything. Never ever take anything for certain. Always take things for a grain of salt. Never be sure of yourself. Because right when you're sure of yourself and you think you know, you don't know nothing.